玩转美国，快乐至上，欢迎收看完美主义，我是希文。使用垃圾来制作雕塑或家具，这样可行吗？今天完美主义要拜访的是洛杉矶的艺术家 Clare， 他富有创造力的将许多废弃物品变成令你叹为观止的艺术品。
My mom, when we wore out clothes, would cut all the buttons off and save them in Quaker Oats things. So probably one of the first things I did was take all those used buttons and start making things out of those buttons. And they tended to be sort of childhood accumulations. Recycling is very low cost. It's really only labor that you're having to pay for. The material is basically free for collecting it. So I think it's a good economical way of producing a lot of art product. The sort of art supply store for what I need is very large here. You know, it's everywhere, and you can find it regularly. On weekends, I'd go to flea markets or garage sales or swap meets and just see what was available. Always finding the material prompts the inspiration, and that's where the idea to do something out of it comes from. In Pop Tops, I've used over 15 million of them.
Wow, 15 million?
15 million.
So how long did it take you to really gathering that much Pop Tops?
Before I figured out what I wanted to do with them and came up with the technique of using them, I probably collected them for about 5 years.
5 years?
5 trash cans, and realized that that was close to 1 million just in the 5 trash cans.
Wow.
So I then started playing with it, trying to figure out what I could do. And obviously, because they have holes in them, you can string them on a piece of wire. So I thought,
and
that's
attach
interesting.
All of them?
So I started doing these big hanging things, like you see the chandeliers hanging, and then wanted to make some furniture, functional art, something you could sit on. So welded these steel armatures, put layers of screen on it. So I had like a needlepoint canvas, and then took wire and strung maybe 10 on, and then like tufting the rug back and forth. So each one is mechanically attached to a framework. I like the meditative aspect of having to do something endlessly repetitive. Like 15 million Pop Tops, you realize that each one of them I collected, I washed, I put in a storage container, and then I physically strung it on a piece of wire 15 million times. That's a lot of repetitive motion.
And that's what you enjoy.
I enjoy that because your mind gets to go other places while you're doing that repetitive task.
I really like this one. It's really beautiful with the color and pattern you create. So what material did you use for this one?
This material is about as colorful as I get, and it's a found material called a paint by number. What I do is I find them at thrift stores or garage sales, swap meets sometimes, and I pixelate them. I cut them up into individual pieces, and then like this is all a cockatoo, so then I rearrange all the pieces, and then like use borders and things. And so it's a paint by number covered cabinet, that's the skin. And then on the inside are things that relate to the art production process. So the black and white photos are all of my college textbooks in art history.
所以只要有创意，废弃物品也能变成艺术品，或者是生活中的必需品。希望今天的完美主义也为你的生活带来了一些创意和灵感。我是希文，下期节目再见。